Okay, so we've had a project this summer and we've built this chicken coop, and I just wanted to go over a few of the fun features that we designed into it. So take a look at it and then come on over here with me. So this is the main area. It's obviously covered, so hopefully it will not have a lot of snow or problems here. Right here is where all the eggs from the nests are going to be rolling off of the nest and then into this back area, and you lift it up.
Theoretically.
And
It's wait a minute. It's not theoretical. We designed this. It's gonna work.
So far, we've already had one success where we had them lay the eggs in the box, the nesting box, and the eggs laid down here, which is lined with some AstroTurf. So that way it'll be a buffer. Hopefully the eggs won't crack as they land. And from this point, you can open up both layers very conveniently and get the eggs. Another feature of this wall is, as you can see, the whole wall is kind of loose. If I wanted to go ahead and work on the nesting boxes, we could lift up the whole wall here, and it connects to a latch that's hanging over here. And get it latched up. And then from this
Uh-oh, lost a piece.
that's okay. From this point, come on in, take a look, and you can see all the back of the nesting boxes, and with easy access to clean them or to replace the AstroTurf layers that are in there. So this will be cleaning out, so that way you don't get any chicken poop and stuff building up in the nesting boxes. We'll be able to clean that and keep that going. And then you can also see from that shot that the nesting boxes are at a slight angle, not a big angle, but a slight angle, so that when they lay their eggs, the eggs will roll to right here, and that is then covered by this box. So that's where hopefully the eggs will collect, and each morning we can get the eggs by just opening these boxes and collecting the eggs. This is the plan. We'll see how it actually works out.
It's science. It's not just a plan. We calculated the slope. I made it. It's going to work.
So we're going to hope that this works, and that this will be where the eggs will be laid. We've had one already here today, so we were very excited about that. We'll deal with that later.
All right.
And then from there, when I'm over here, I got the split door, because I really like the idea of a split door, being able to just go and poke my head in and not have to open the whole door and deal with the chickens. This is the control panel, as you can see, and as you open this up, come take a look around. This is a system of pulleys that is going to control most of the things that are in the chicken coop. So,
watch out, Sandy.
We're going to open this door. And if you take a look over there, you can see the chicken door. That's to get the chickens in and out, right? And then from this point, using this cable, you can take a look and make sure there's no chicken in the door before you do this. That's the point.
It's like a guillotine.
Yeah. And so as I release this cable, this drops the chicken door. Okay, and then I pull the cable and the chicken door comes on up. Once I get it as high as I want it, then you just put it here and you've got your chicken door. Does that make sense?
You got it backwards.
So, well, that'll hold it for now. So this controls the chicken door. Now these control the upper vents. So I wanted to have plenty of ventilation for the hot summers. I didn't want this to turn into an oven. And so one cable pulls one upper vent open, the other cable locks the vent. So during the winter, if the wind blows the vent, it will not blow it open because it is locked with this cable. So this is the north vent and this is the south vent, all controllable from the access panel. So if you step outside and take a look at the north vent is what we will take a look at first.
You have to unlock it first. I locked it.
And you can see real quick what I'm talking about. All right, so it's unlocked. So when I pull the cable, you see how that opens, and then I release it, it'll close, and then I pull the lock and tie the lock down, and the wind can't open it. And that happens on both the north and south sides of the chicken coop, so that there's upper venting on both sides. So that feature. And then let's go on inside and I'll show you some of the features inside. All right, come on into the chicken coop. So coming in here, you'll see some of the strings and cables for the pulley system above. I guess we'll start over here. So this is the waterer, and this is a 55-gallon drum along with the little red nipples going around. So this will hopefully water them. I only have to fill this maybe 4 or 5 times a year, I'm hoping. But a hose will fill this, so that way I don't have to haul any water. The other thing about this is that it has, if you look over here, this cable coming down, this has one of those big water heaters that we would use previously for our pig troughs, but is in there, and that will keep the water from freezing. That has a large warmer in there. We notched out the barrel, and we notched out part of the lid, so that way this does seal nicely, even with that cable in there. So it is sealed shut, comes up and is plugged into the electrical. So that's the water that hopefully will, no more hauling water. Yes. All right. And over here is the feeder. It's a 55-gallon drum trash gun with the little spouts for the chickens to eat.
Here, use that.
And
That works really well.
inside it is filled with 55 gallons of feed. That's good enough.
Note that there's no waste down here where the feeders, where the feeder ports are, where those elbows come out. And the reason for that is we were careful how we cut those elbows. We cut them at an angle with only the back part of it cut off by about 1 inch, and then it's sloped forward to make sure that the chickens can't easily scoop a whole bunch of feed out, and it's not cut too high that food just pours in. This feeder is full, but none of that food is coming out, and the chickens aren't easily pulling out. And so we looked at a lot of different designs for this, and a lot of them just accumulate a lot of waste, but we're not getting any waste down there, so hopefully that'll lower our feed bill and not feed the mice too, which is also a concern.
Right. Okay. So that's the feeder. And this is the front view of our nesting boxes. Right now we have 4 of them with a little bit of straw in. We're trying to make sure that the chickens are trained to use the nesting boxes and are comfortable with them. So we put half with a little bit of straw and half without. And then our intention is to not have straw in the nesting boxes at all. But this is just for training. And interestingly, the one nesting box that was used today was one of the ones without any of the straw. So we'll see how that goes. Now you'll notice underneath the nesting box, I have a skirt around it. When you lift up the wall outside, that is actually reachable storage space. So it is, and I also skirted off because I didn't want the chickens to be nesting underneath. So I do not want chickens there, so that is why that has been skirted off. And then we did a angled top to keep the chickens from roosting or being on the top of the nesting boxes, mainly because I don't want poop up there. So that is the nesting box.
What's funny is there's poop right
on
there because the chickens, they go up the ladder and then walk across the top, go over here just to poop right there to spite
Well,
us.
I think the guinea hens are doing that.
I'm pretty sure it's deliberate.
Yeah, the guinea hens have done that. So if you look at the windows, the portion of the window that's beyond on the outside there is trimmed out with 1/2-inch hardwire. And then inside where we are is actually some of the roofing plastic material in a frame, and that's just to prevent for the winter snow and cold winds and things like that coming in here. Come spring, we will be removing this plastic cover, and it will just be an open 1/4-inch or 1/2-inch hardwire window on both windows. Yeah. And then the roost, if we look at the roost, this was, when I did the calculations, this should be sufficient roosting for up to 50 birds. We've got a flock of about 30 to plus 9 guinea fowl right now.
Oh.
So we just wanted them to be comfortable. So we did this roost like this, and they are split in half, so that I don't want to do it right now because I've got chickens on the roost. But if you look down here, you'll see a little handle, a little clasp. This roof lifts up and then will clasp to the clasp that's right over there. I'll take clasp to here, and that lifts up this roost entirely. And then, yeah, this clasp connects to this ring here to lift up this roost. And the point of that is to give us access underneath so that we can clean out the chicken coop that's there.
Notice there's plastic.
We've
under there.
also lined the floor from here back with 6 mil plastic. So we're hoping that that will make it easier when it comes cleaning day to just pull that coop off, and easy access. And then we've got on either side of the roofs 2 of the red lights, and that's just to encourage them laying eggs, even though it's getting darker and darker this time of year and they're getting less sunlight. So this will give them some of that sun, and that is set on a timer, which is set up by the control panel. So that just goes on and off according to the schedule that I set. And then the roof, I wanted to make sure that there was ample light in here, but I didn't want to cook the chickens. So if you look at the roof, has like the white plastic tiles up there for most of it. That'll allow light, but not allow too much heat. And then on the back side there, we put clear plastic to kind of like a little sunroof for them, but not too much so that it won't make them too hot, if that makes sense. And then you'll see up there the north and south vents. Those are the triangles that open and close based upon the pulley system and the control panel. And so when those are open during the summer and time, that will allow ample air flow through here with the windows. And we also left space where the upper beams meet the roof. That also is open to allow for more upper ventilation. And all of the roofs are below that point, so they shouldn't have any direct wind or breeze on them unless they jump up to the upper rafters, which we're hoping they don't do, and so far they've been pretty good about that. Our guinea fowl, however, really like the upper roofs. They have been up there. But so far the chickens are doing great, and this is our 3rd day of the chickens moving in to the brand new coop, and we're excited. They're going to be also going outside. When they go outside their chicken door, they now have a covered patio, so when there's snow and inclement weather, they're not cooped up in here. They have a covered area out there to go and enjoy their time.
Something that's funny I wanted to point out is, you see there's 2 groups of chickens here. We have the original ones that we had in one pen. Those are the multicolored chickens that are brown and gray up there. And then we had these new ones that are the white chickens that are here. And it's sort of separated into 2 gangs. You got the east side chickens over here and like west side chickens down here. And they don't, except this guy. He's looking for trouble. But he's going to get packed back, and he's going to have to rejoin the Team West over here.
Mix it up. And then the other little interesting thing we have, I'm not sure if there's light, but let's take you around and show you where the feed is kept, because we previously had to haul feed in, and now it should be really easy for us to do. We've got covered area here, and this is just storing some stuff for winter.
This along here is going to be kind of a flower garden for the bees that are winterized and kept over there. But we'll have a bunch of what's called the life everlasting flower, because they have a nice blooming cycle.
Yeah. So there we put a bunch of potting soil, and that's why the tarp is on top of it, is to protect that potting soil. It goes the whole length. So come spring, we're going to be putting flowers all throughout here. I think that'll look really nice. So you come around to the back side of the coop, and you will see that there are these 55-gallon drums. Now this is where we're going to be storing the feed, is right on the back side of the coop. There's enough space
Look,
here.
there's mice right there. We're not feeding you guys.
There's enough space here for us to put 2 tons of feed. That would be 12 of these 55-gallon drums back here. We also designed it so that our tractor can bring that feed right to here, and then we'll be able to fill the drums. And it'll be a simple matter for us to take that feed, walk it around to the front door, and to fill the feed. So that's another convenience that we built into this design.
It's actually 4 tons. So it's like 2 tons with really good walking space, between everything. We can probably squeeze 4 tons in there just looking at it, but we don't really need to.
No, you want to have plenty of space to walk around and to access each barrel. So 2 tons is the top that we can comfortably do here, and I mean that's plenty, right? So so that's good. But yeah, those are the designs and thoughts. Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the structure and architecture, how we built. So we had this idea that we were going to make this of the logs and stuff on our property, and also just a bunch of spare scrap stuff that we had sitting around from when we built our house and pole barn. And so I started off with all these logs that we cut down and started cutting up, and then I realized Working with logs sucks. It's really terrible. It's because logs are uneven. You know, they're not straight. They're not the same width. And we had a time crush. So I started off with logs for the superstructure, but then we switched with lumber or to lumber for the rest of it. So it's, you know, you have a good, you know, combination of ways that this is built. But ultimately, it's built pretty strong. I think it's going to be really, really durable and probably last a long time. My wife says all my temporary structures are made to withstand a nuclear war. I'm not going to disagree. That is part of the assessment. And then here's the chicken run. Do you want to talk about this?
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying, that when they go out, they'll have a covered patio. So during the inclement weather, they'll be able to get outside of the coop and have extra space built in. And this is also very convenient for us to throw the kitchen scraps just right out here and encourage them to come out for a little bit each day.
Then we have to open up the rest of the chicken space. We have about, I don't know, an acre fenced in for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fenced in with, you know, in the forest area that's all protected for them. So once they get used to this coop and we feel that, you know, they're settled in, then we're going to open up the barrier and let them run.
Next summer.
Yeah, let them run and have that space. But yeah, and also this protected patio, you see we ran the clear paneling on the roof all the way down here to increase the light that they can enjoy during the winter, so that they will have a protected sunny space.
So I wanted to come down here and show you what this looks like at night when it's all lit up by the red light. Mainly because I think it looks cool. Also, I look better in the dark. The darker it is, the better I look. Pretty sure. Trying not to hit my head this time on this. Anyways, with this light how it is, it does look like we are in fact cooking chickens, but we are not. It's not really that hot. It's just enough to take the edge off and to give them a little bit of warmth so that they'll lay more eggs. And in fact, it does work. While I'm down here, I guess I'll close their door. Hopefully I don't lock any of them out. That wouldn't be a good idea. So that goes down. Oops. Something's keeping it. No, that's perfect. All right, and that is it. Night, night, chickies.